Dear ladies and gentlemen, this year's Thanksgiving week is unfolding one of the most complex and unpredictable weather patterns seen in many years. Changes occurring in the Arctic stratosphere, a layer completely separated from the part of the atmosphere we live in, have begun triggering a chain reaction that is directly influencing the troposphere, where storms, cold air masses, and the jet stream controlling U.S. weather are formed. A stratospheric warming event. A sudden warming of the stratosphere is unfolding at an unusually rapid pace. When the stratosphere warms, the polar vortex weakens, and the swirling winds that typically lock cold air over the Arctic begin to destabilize. This effect opens an Arctic gateway, allowing cold air to spill into North America much earlier than usual. This very early disruption of the polar vortex is helping to carve out a deep trough stretching from the Rockies down into the central United States. This marks the starting point of a series of changes in the weather pattern throughout this important holiday week. In the West, incoming waves of Pacific energy are repeatedly crashing into the coast, bringing heavy rain, strong winds, and thick mountain snow across the Rockies. The interaction between these energy pulses and the distorted jet stream makes the West a hotspot of continuous weather disturbances, coastal moisture, interior blizzards, and unusually strong winds. Meanwhile, the South is beginning to receive warm, moist air streaming northward from the Gulf of Mexico. When this moisture encounters the advancing cold trough from the north, a sharp temperature gradient forms. A classic setup for severe thunderstorms, hail, and even tornadoes. This scenario is especially significant as it coincides with the first 2 days of the week, when tens of millions of Americans begin traveling home for Thanksgiving. Across the plains and the south-central region, severe thunderstorm activity may develop from Sunday night through Monday and Tuesday. States such as Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, and even Louisiana may be impacted by storms bringing damaging winds and localized heavy rain. Farther northeast, the interaction between moist air and incoming Canadian cold air will generate a broad swath of rain stretching into Indiana, Ohio, and Illinois. This raises not only the risk of thunderstorms, but also the potential for early season snowfall in some parts of the Midwest by late Tuesday. At the same time, another low-pressure system is descending from Montana and the Dakotas. When these two systems, one from the southwest and one from the northern Rockies, meet, the U.S. will face a dual storm setup on Tuesday. In the southern sector, states in the Ohio Valley and the southeast may face heavy rain and strong thunderstorm potential. In the northern sector, the system will trigger a broad zone of snow from North Dakota and Minnesota down into Wisconsin and Michigan. This will be one of the most critical periods for those traveling by road or air. Moving into Wednesday and Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, the core of the major storm system shifts toward the Great Lakes. This means the region will face intense lake-effect snow. States such as Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio, and northern Indiana may experience some of the heaviest snow of the week. In particular, western New York and western Pennsylvania, areas with unique terrain and proximity to Lake Erie, are likely to see prolonged, intense snow bands. As Thanksgiving approaches, cold air from Canada will surge more forcefully into the Midwest, northern plains, and parts of the western mountains. Temperatures may drop 15 to 30 degrees Celsius in less than 24 hours, turning cold, dry air into a dominant feature of the holiday. Some northern areas may fall 10 to 15 degrees Celsius below long-term averages. For the Ohio Valley and the Northeast, the scenario remains uncertain. If the jet stream trough dips southward at the right moment, the region could see a cold Thanksgiving with heavy rain, strong winds, or even mixed snow. If the atmospheric trough shifts more slowly, the significant impacts may arrive from Thursday night into Friday. By Friday, Black Friday, cold air continues expanding across the Northeast, pushing temperatures down significantly. Some areas may fall 10 to 15 degrees below average. This will be a day where outdoor travel requires extra caution, especially since lake-effect snow bands may still be active. The combination of strong winds and slick roads could pose challenges for outdoor shopping and interstate travel. While the North contends with cold air, the Pacific Northwest will also face a prolonged stretch of heavy rainfall. States such as Washington and Oregon may experience persistent rain, strong winds, and mountain snow at higher elevations. The Cascades are likely to pick up significant snowfall from Thanksgiving night into early Friday. In the Rockies, snow is expected to continue for several days, affecting mountain pass travel. By the weekend, the nation begins transitioning into a new phase. Global atmospheric models indicate a sequence of new disturbances forming, raising the possibility that the U.S. could see one or two additional strong cold waves in early December. Some scenarios show temperatures plunging 30 to 40 degrees below average in the northern regions. This suggests that the ongoing weakening of the polar vortex, a direct consequence of the current stratospheric warming, may persist for weeks. It implies that early December could witness one of the strongest and broadest cold outbreaks of the season so far. In summary, this Thanksgiving week is shaped by the interaction of three major factors: the deep trough produced by stratospheric warming, the two merging low-pressure systems from the west and the north, and the surge of warm Gulf moisture. When these factors interact, weather becomes extremely volatile, changing by the day and by region. For families traveling by air, the highest risk of flight delays may fall on Tuesday and Wednesday. For those driving, the Great Lakes region, the Midwest, and the I-80 and I-90 corridors require special caution due to snow and ice. A week typically associated with family reunion has now become challenging due to rare atmospheric disturbances. However, careful preparation, continuous updates, and flexible schedules will help reduce risks. The trend of strong cold pushing into early December remains a key feature to watch, as stratospheric fluctuations have not yet stabilized.